Hello lovelies, LarissaJ here and welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year. I know I'm super late. I've been trying to get things in order for the new year, but I'm finally back and ready to record more videos for you all to watch. Today, I actually have a special guest for you guys, and that is, ta-da!
How y'all doing today?
My wonderful husband, Javan Johnson. I know you've heard me talk a lot about him on this channel, but you actually get to meet him today.
Hello.
So today we actually want to talk about preparing for marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are single and let's say looking to mingle, single and ready to mingle. No, if you're single and you desire to be married, or if you're preparing for marriage, like you're just in that season where you're ready, or even if you're married, honestly, this video applies to you. So this video is for everyone. We want to talk about just the mentality of going into marriage. That's the biggest thing. For us, we found as far as like preparing for marriage is your mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes people like to go into marriage, us included.
Mm-hmm.
I had to prepare myself, but like way back, when I was single, just like, I want to get married. During those,
mm-hmm.
that's just how you grow up. That's how I grew up.
Mm-hmm.
And during that time, it was just like thinking all about what I could get in a marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just like, I won't be alone. I can go to the movies with somebody. I get to go on dates and get all prettied up. Prettied is not a word.
You're very pretty.
Thank you. So thinking about those types of things, being a believer, and I was a virgin before getting married.
Right.
So thinking about, I finally get to have sex. Like there's all these different things that you think about before getting married. What do men think about? Thinking about marriage.
I was virgin as well, so that was one of the things. But then also the companionship element of things is very important. To have that person. For me, that was a big thing. To have somebody to share life with.
So those are all normal things, and yes, it's all true. You do get that in a marriage, but that should not be the focal point when you're thinking about getting married. The focal point when thinking about getting married is how can you give? And I think that's the best way to prepare for marriage is thinking about how you're going to serve that person and preparing yourself to serve that person so that when the time comes, you're not just like taken off guard, like, oh my gosh, she's sick and throwing up and I'm supposed to do something about it. But like, okay, I'm being facetious. Obviously, you need to do something about it. But thinking about those types of things as well, or this person is tired and they don't feel like cooking, let me step in. Like thinking about that, how can I serve? So when you think about getting married, that should be the thought, like, I'm ready to be selfless. And honestly, not many people think that way.
Exactly.
But you can. That's why we're talking about it now. Start preparing yourself to think about how you can serve. And just think about marriage as an opportunity of service.
Well, I think the big thing is going into marriage. I think one way to kind of gauge how things is going or how things can go is look at how unselfish you are, how unselfish your future spouse will be. I think that right there, that can be a big barometer to let you know how things will be in the future. If y'all are both very unselfish, then y'all can have a great marriage. If there's a lot of selfishness, it can lead to a lot of issues down the road. So I think that's something that really needs to be nipped in the bud early.
Made me think about like the narcissists who only think about themselves and what they can get and what they can acquire. The type of person when you're talking to them, like all they talk about is them. They don't ask about you or your day. That's probably not going to work because they're not going to be ready to serve. So you definitely want to make sure that you are connected with somebody who does have a heart of service. And I think that might be easier. I hope it would be easier with believer, if it's the right believer, because that's what we're all about. Jesus served. So we have that example, and that should be our lifestyle anyway, but just going into the marriage, you like amp it up. Which I think that some people tend to do the reverse, and like you amp it up for the strangers, and then when you're at home, like y'all slacking. Right, exactly. You can't do that.
Yeah. It's a giving, it's an ongoing giving process.
Yes. So that would be my biggest tip. Obviously, there's a bunch of other things, and I will talk about them in another video, but the biggest thing that I've thought of and the biggest thing that helped us is going into it, like before we even got married, just thinking about like, okay, I'm getting married now. Like when we were engaged, even when we were recording, but really when we were engaged, it was, okay, we're getting married now, so let me prepare my mind to be ready to serve and not having expectations of someone else serving you. So I was like, well, if I have to cook all the time, great, like no big deal. If I have to clean the house all the time, great, no big deal. Now, unfortunately for me, that's not the case. I got an amazing help right here. But
an amazing wife.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But I did go into it without any expectations so that it wouldn't be like, oh man, marriage sucks because this is what I expected to happen and that's not what happened. I think that's where a lot of people get tripped up, is having like all of these expectations,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get there, and that's not how it works out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's another tip.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have any unrealistic expectations, but that still goes back to your mentality.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have anything to add there?
I think you did a great job with this one.
Awesome. So that's all I've got for this video. Like I said, I've got a bunch more to say, but I'm going to save it for the next video. So make sure that you subscribe and hit that bell so you get notifications on my new uploads. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
All right, bye.